Valentina Gomez, who is running for Missouri Secretary of State, posted this on X. She said, Juneteenth is ratchet, and I agree with real Candace Owen. If you don't like America, GTFO. I won't tell you what GTFO means if you don't know, but it means just get out of here. And she posted a video because she had to make Juneteenth about her somehow. Here's that video.
Reparations from slavery and Black victimization is about to be shoved down our throats for the most wretched holiday in America. BLM raised millions, but what did they do for Black lives? It is outrageous to see people asking for reparations, even though they never went through slavery. These ungrateful people should be celebrated because they were born in the greatest nation to ever exist. Here's a tip. If you don't like America, find out.
How did she get that way? I don't know. If you weren't completely sure that she was playing up her hate for the camera, she actually wore a shirt that said, "Don't be weak and gay," during Pride Month. So 2 bigotries, 1 video. It's very impressive that she was able to do that. But I mean, I guess she got what she wanted because here we are talking about her on our show today. It's just funny how the Trump campaign released a statement claiming that Republicans under Trump's leadership, what do they say, quote, will continue to advance the American dream for all people, right? That's not quite the Republican Party that we know today. And just to solidify that point, Republicans are out here posting videos like this one about how Black people don't deserve things like reparations or even acknowledgement of the fact that the United States enslaved their ancestors. And when I say ancestors, it's not like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It's just a few generations ago, right? Like the children of slaves are still living today. So Farron, Republicans are not known for their inclusivity. What do you think of all of this?
Now that one definitely was racist. Like there's no doubt about that. She put her whole heart and soul into that level of racism. But here's the thing that gets me about it. When you have these people like, Valentina right there, talking about if you don't like America, get out, go to Canada. We hear that from Republicans all the time. If you hate the country, leave. Well, y'all are the ones who clearly hate it. You don't like immigrants coming into this country, even legally. So you hate those people. You hate that the country lets them in. You hate Black people. You hate the entire LGBTQ community. You hate the government. You hate the environment. So literally every part of this country, the environment, the land we're on, the government that runs it, and the people that make it up, you folks in the Republican Party hate it all. You literally tell us how horrible the government is. So you hate it. So follow your own advice. You seem to hate everything about this country. You seem to hate all of the people in it. So do what you're telling everybody else to do and get the heck out of here, because we're okay. We're okay with being with people with differing opinions. We're okay with being around people with different religions. Y'all are not. I mean, we saw that in Louisiana this week as well. So it drives me up the wall when these people use their own hatred and bigotry to try to say that other people hate America, when clearly it's them that hate everything about this country.
Yeah, and it's a weird way to love, I think, to just, kind of blindly accept a place or a thing or a person with all their faults and just say, I love you anyway. And that's fine. You can love people and their faults, but at the same time, you can love something and say, but it can be better. And I love you, so I want you to be better. I want the best for you. And I think that that's kind of the difference between the right wing and the left wing approach to this particular talking point. And as far as Juneteenth go, I live in Houston, and Galveston is where it all started. Galveston is just south of Houston, for those of you who don't know. And so it's always been a really big deal in this part of the country. And so when it got expanded to a national holiday, that was a really, really big deal, especially here in Houston and Galveston. And there's so much history regarding slavery and even the Civil War here in Texas, specifically along the Gulf Coast. If you go down to Galveston for my birthday last year, I did a a cemetery tour. My birthday's right around Halloween, so it was very spooky. And it's funny because all the headstones are all from Confederate soldiers. And when you're living here today, you can forget very easily that this was part of the Confederacy. This was a slave state. A lot of our cities were built by slave labor, and all of that is history that needs to be spoken about because there's so many generations of people who are still suffering the repercussions of slavery and the Civil War and all these things. And then on the right, with the conservatives, you have them trying to erect Confederate flags everywhere and saying that this is my culture and it needs to be protected, even though the Confederacy lasted, 4 years or something like that. Slavery lasted much, much, much longer, had much longer repercussions. It had, even after slavery ended, and Juneteenth is like the example of this, even after slavery ended, Black people in this country were still treated horribly, not just poorly, but horribly. They were just barely given any rights. They were barely treated as people or as Americans. And now the Republican Party is trying to say that they want rights for all these people. It's just not true. Any final thoughts, Byron, before we move on?
I love the fact that you bring up that the Confederacy only lasted a couple years. I mean, TYT and Ring of Fire have both existed in American history 4 times longer each than the Confederacy did. TYT and Ring of Fire are more a part of American history, I mean, just in terms of how long we've lasted, than the Confederacy. So, let's start seeing more Ring of Fire flags or TYT flags everywhere. Fly those on the back of your pickup trucks because we've outlasted your idiotic little Confederacy. That's what I wanted to say.
So what are you saying? We should get our own flag?
We should. I would fly it. I would fly it, absolutely.
I like it. I like that support.